Hi there fellow plants lovers, welcome to our brand new Plants Doctor video. We are hoping that you're loving the content so far and that we can support you with your plant parent duties. We are all more than ready to receive some warmer weather and enjoy that sunshine. This is our time to thrive as well do our plants. The days are longer and warmer, which creates an ideal environment for our plants. It's not crazy that they grow like sprouts in this time period. But there are some things that we have to be careful with during summer. So to make your plants summer ready, we will share some tips that will keep your green babies perfectly happy in summer. I think we all love summer, but it does bring some plant problems with it. One of those problems is sunburn. We probably have all experienced this once or twice and know that getting sunburn is not a very good feeling. Our plants can experience sunburn as well. It's our job as plant parents to prevent this from happening. When the sun is strong, it's best to keep your plants away from the window. Even though they might seem protected from the sun, the UV rays can still get through them. Unfortunately, there is not yet sunscreen invented for our plants, so we have to do this the old-fashioned way. Just move your plants about 1 meter away from the window and that should do the trick. Once fall arrives, they can return to their trusty windowsill. If you prefer to keep your plants on their trusty spot, you can also place a thin see-through curtain in the window. This will also protect your plants from UV rays. Got some sunburned plants anyways? Don't worry, it can happen to all of us and most of the time your plant can bounce back from it. You might recognize the following symptoms. Pale, yellow or brown leaves. This especially happens with tropical plants because of their tender leaves. Overly dry soil. Raw, brown, yellow patches on the leaves, stems. This can happen from scorching or sunburn. Flowers or leaves dropping off or drooping. I will now share some tips and tools to keep your plants happy and healthy during summer. My first tip is moisture, moisture and even more moisture. Our plants are very busy with growing and do experience the increased heat. Did you know that plants can actually sweat? Don't worry, they will not start smelling funky, but this process happens from the roots. They will soak up water from the soil, then water will be transferred upwards through the stem and eventually it will be outed through the stomata. And I hear you thinking, what is a stomata? Well, small biology 101 lesson, these are small holes in the leaves that can open and close. During the day these holes are open and water will be released here. Never seen any water on your leaves? Well, that's pretty normal since this evaporates into the air. This process naturally happens when the air is dry or when the temperature is high. Basically, this is a summer environment. Since they are losing water more quickly, they will need more water. Still be gentle with the amount of water per watering, but make these waterings a little bit more regular. It can be tricky not to overwater them. You always can choose to water your plants from the bottom. You can only do this when your pot has holes in the bottom, like a nursery pot. Simply place your plant inside a bucket of water, leave her be for about 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes you can let the excess water drain out and place her right back in her regular spot. She has had all the time to soak up all the water that she needs and it will never be too much. Another great way to make sure you are not overwatering your plants is by using a water meter or a plant sensor. You have more simple devices like our Tessa water meter. This meter lasts for about 6 to 9 months and will show you if your plant has gotten enough water. When you like to get something that's a little bit more fancy, we have the Naomi plant sensor. This sensor can be placed inside the soil next to your plant and through an app she will tell you all the ins and outs about your plant's health. How cool is that? You can also have a helping hand when it comes to watering your plants. These are also super beneficial if you would like to go away for a long weekend or want to make sure your plant's getting the water that she needs. Our terracotta water doubler is a self-watering device that you fill up with water and the terracotta will slowly absorb the water and it will be released in the soil. And it's a very handy device, which is our terracotta. And we can also have something like this. We have a whole DIY on our website, how you can make this, and this is also a self-watering pot. You just need a few simple things and you'll be ready to go. Now we will have to do something about that drier air, because our plants would adore some humidity. The preference of the humidity varies per plant, so make sure to look up what's the right humidity for your specific green baby. Adding a humidifier can be super beneficial, and not only in summer, but treating our babies with something extra is always nice, right? The diffuser will do all the hard work for you, and the only thing you have to do is fill it up and push on a button. Not only will it increase the humidity, but it will also give our respiratory systems a boost. Besides, you can add essential oils to make your urban jungle smell absolutely amazing. This is my personal favorite. It's called Morning Daisy, and it makes my urban jungle smell very fresh. Just a few drops is more than enough. The ideal temperature for houseplants is between 15 and 24 degrees Celsius. To provide them with this, we should try to keep some of that summer heat outside. We can do this by closing the doors and windows to prevent any heat from coming in. This is a very simple way to keep it slightly cooler in summer. We also love our air conditioning. Just be a little bit careful with turning on the AC too high. Since plants' leaves can be sensitive to cold air, as long as you keep your green babies out of the direct wind, they should be totally fine. Since our plants are growing so rapidly, they use up loads of energy during the day. So to give them a little bit extra support, we can provide them with some nutrition. The amount of nutrition that a plant needs can vary. We have all the information ready for you on our website. Simply go to our PLNTSdoctor page and select Plant Care per Family, and you will soon see how much fertilizer your specific plant needs. Our plant nutrition is organic and is suitable for every kind of houseplant. As I said before, our plants will grow super rapidly in this time and might need some repotting or pruning done. This is actually the perfect time for this, since we can take up the advantage of the peak of the growing season. They will have all the space to create more roots, and cuttings of dead leaves will stimulate new growth as well. Maybe you would even like to propagate your plants by taking some cuttings. I would say go for it. During summer, our climbing plants would love a shoulder to lean on. A plant stake could be the perfect friend for your tall growing plant. Besides that, they look quite fancy, so if you would like to make your plant a little bit more extravagant, a plant stake could be the perfect option. But we also have the classic moss pole, which is a tool that we already love. Now I've given you all the tips and tricks to be summer ready with your plants. But when there's a heat wave, you might want to forget everything that I just taught you. You know, the thing with a heat wave is that it can be a lot to handle for green babies. It's important that you adjust your routine to this heat. It's best to wait with pruning and repotting when there's a heat wave. We know that it might not be the prettiest view, but let them be until the heat is passed again. The same rule counts on fertilizing. Normally, the summertime is ideal to fertilize your plants, since it uses a lot of energy because you will grow very fast. But during a heat wave, it's best to wait with fertilizing your plants. This is because your green babies need all the energy to cope with the heat instead of absorbing all the nutrients. The moisture tip still goes, but it's even more important during a heat wave. This is not only because your plants will sweat more, but also because the more heat, the faster the water will evaporate from the soil. You can do this by bottom watering your plants, as I mentioned before. You can also give them a nice shower. This will water them thoroughly and rinse off all the dust on their leaves and let them breathe again. But do not let them dry up in the sun. This can cause really bad sunburn. Unfortunately, this heat can also attract all kinds of pests. Yuck! We already made a whole video full of content about pests for you guys. If you missed that video, you might want to watch that. We will tell you everything about pests and how to exterminate them. We will leave a link to this video in the description box down below. I hope these summer tips will get you and your plants summer ready. Don't forget to pamper yourself with a nice cold drink and enjoy that sunshine. Thank you so much for watching our video, and see you the next time.